it looks like Samsung isn't trying to beat Apple's foldable with just one big upgrade. And that's exactly why Apple should be worried. Instead of chasing headlines, Samsung is making a series of quiet, very deliberate upgrades that already make Apple's first foldable iPhone feel incomplete. And once you line them up, it becomes clear why Samsung's 7 years of experience in the foldable market matter more than anything else. Let me explain. First, let's talk about cameras, because that's where the biggest changes are happening. According to Galaxy Club, Samsung is finally upgrading not one but two rear cameras on the Z Fold 8, and this is something Fold users have been waiting years for. First, the ultra-wide camera is getting an upgrade from 12 megapixels to 50 megapixels, and this is huge. More importantly, this means the Fold's ultra-wide finally matches the sensor used on Samsung's Ultra flagships. With a higher resolution sensor, we can expect sharper photos, better dynamic range, and noticeably cleaner low-light shots for a phone that costs this much. This upgrade was long overdue. But that's not the only camera change coming to the Z Fold 8. The telephoto camera is also getting an upgrade, at least on paper. Samsung is moving from a 10 megapixel sensor to a 12 megapixel while keeping the same 3x optical zoom. Sounds good, right? But here's where things get tricky. We've already seen leaks suggesting Samsung is doing the same thing on the upcoming S26 Ultra. Even though the sensor is technically 12 megapixels, Samsung only uses 10 megapixels of it in actual output. So yes, it looks like an upgrade on the spec sheet, but in real-world use, it barely changes anything. Still, even if the Fold 8 misses out on a 5x periscope lens entirely, this is the first time Samsung is properly aligning the Fold's camera sensors with the Ultra lineup. And again, for a phone at this price point, that consistency matters. Now here's where things get really interesting. Apple is entering the foldable market very late, and as expected, they're playing it safe. Apple's first foldable iPhone is still rumored to launch with just two rear cameras, similar to the iPhone 17, and it's expected to completely miss out on a telephoto lens. Samsung, meanwhile, is offering a triple camera setup with far more versatility. For a first-generation Apple foldable, that's a clear disadvantage. There's also an interesting rumor about Apple's approach to selfies. The foldable iPhone is said to feature a 48-megapixel under-display camera on the main screen. That sounds impressive on paper, but we've already seen how under-display cameras perform. Samsung seems to have learned that lesson. The Z Fold 8 is keeping 10-megapixel selfie cameras on both the cover display and the inner display. And no, the under-display camera is not coming back. Apple is widely expected to launch its first foldable iPhone in the second half of 2026. That's nearly 7 years after Samsung launched the original Galaxy Fold. Apple waited, probably to learn from everyone else's mistakes. And while that should result in a polished first-gen product, it feels extremely conservative. According to the latest leaks, Apple's foldable could ship with a 5.5-inch cover display and a 7.7-inch inner display. Meanwhile, Samsung is already at a 6.5-inch cover screen and an 8-inch inner display on the Z Fold 7. And if you're thinking these comparisons don't matter due to the different aspect ratios, here's where things get even more interesting. Samsung is reportedly planning two variants of the Galaxy Z Fold 8. Both versions are expected to get the same camera upgrades. One could stick to the current Fold-style aspect ratio, while the other could shift to a wider design, similar to Pixel 10 Pro Fold or even foldable iPhone. But which one is it going to be? I've already talked about it. You can watch it here.